a tale of two very different duchesses. Queen Catherine emerges during a powerful speech as Meghan Markle hits a shocking new low by using her children to hawk her dodgy honey. So yes, this is the Thanksgiving video from Meghan, as fake as it comes, of course, filmed months and months ago.
So let's talk about two very different duchesses and what's happening in the royal world right now. On one hand, we have Catherine, Princess of Wales, stepping into her power with confidence, clarity, and purpose. On the other, Meghan Markle seems to be hitting new lows, dragging her brand, and unfortunately, her children, into increasingly questionable territory. The contrast couldn't be starker. Just recently, Catherine gave a speech in the UK that was genuinely impressive. She talked about the importance of love, tenderness, and nurturing relationships.
But I think the real downfall here for the Sussexes is the fact that now in her promotional material, she is directly invoking and using the name of her two children. By contrast, Catherine revealed the type of monarch she intends to be during this speech in the UK yesterday.
Love is the first and most essential bond. Imagine a world where each of these environments were built on valuing time and tenderness just as much as productivity and success.
So we're going to get a very unique take on these two very different women from Royal YouTube sensation P. Diner in just one moment. But first, I've got to take you through this shock new low from Ms. Markle. As Tom Sykes reports in The Royalist, Meghan puts Archie and Lili in her Thanksgiving mail shot. The argument that the no pictures rule is to protect her kids' privacy looks very strained in the face of a new as ever campaign which actively seeks to sell Archie and Lili Bit's lifestyle. Now, I would say it doesn't just look strained. Actually, I would say it's been blown up into smithereens. Prince Harry looks like a goddamn fool because his wife is now using his two precious children on social media to hawk shitty sage honey.
Especially in childhood. She spoke about creating environments that value time and care as much as productivity and success. It was heartfelt. It was grounded, and it gave a real glimpse into the type of queen, or at least queenly figure, she might become. Every word reinforced a commitment not just to her own children, but to the well-being of all children in the UK. It was a kind of message that resonates, that people remember, and that signals real purpose and vision.
Here's the reporting from Mr. Sykes. Meghan just put her kids slap bang into her Thanksgiving marketing campaign. What I imagine marketing experts of the future will make of this email when it is included in a compilation of a definitive history on how to run your personality-driven business into the ground is that it's deeply hypocritical to try and generate affection and fondness for your children when you have obsessively prevented their images from being published. Also, I would suggest that it's now fairly clear that the children and the husband, far from being kept at arm's length from the dirty business of commercial necessity, will absolutely be roped in whenever they are required. The Queen's generous farewell to them from royal life. It is my whole family's hope that today's agreement allows them to start building a happy and peaceful new life. Looks hopelessly naive now. Now, I have to say, I was the one saying this at the time. Tom Sykes goes on to say, I hope Meghan sought her kids' permission to include them in her little Thanksgiving email blast before she invaded their privacy in this way. Reading these emails from As Ever, it's hard not to think of how badly Harry and Meghan have played their hand. In the space of 6 years, they have gone from being the most exciting new members of the royal family to hawking honey that they are kind of loosely but non-actionably hinting as from their garden on Instagram. You have to wonder if they had known then that this was what it would all be for. Might they have done things differently? Well, certainly Harry would have, but I've got to take you through this email personally written by that weirdo, Meghan Markle. She's not right in the head because she refers to herself in two different ways in the third person here. The headline, by the way, is why she thinks she's so clever. Oh, yes, things do get better with sage. unlike you, Meghan. And she writes, and remember, this is Meghan writing this, which is why it's so creepy and so weird. When it comes to our founders' favourites, the delicate herbaceous flavour of sage ranks high on the list. Why, you ask? I didn't, Meghan. Well, those photos you've seen this year on our Instagram of Meghan walking through. So, okay, now she's referring to herself in the third person, not as the founder, but by her real name. Walking through what seems like lavender with its gorgeous purple hue actually share the beauty of flowering sage. Fun fact, the varietal is called Santa Barbara. Those strolls with Archie and Lili running in tow, her husband checking on the bees, Poola chasing the ball with Mia trying to keep up. Those were the sun-drenched moments that made an everyday walk something a bit more magical. So magical, in fact, Meghan, that you're now using it to sell your shitty honey. And that sage, that purple, that scent around the garden was always there in the background. Meghan started drying all the different varieties of sage she was growing, bundling it as gifts, cooking with it, infusing it into oils, and indulging the sage-infused honey her bees were busy harvesting. Just imagine, by the way, in comes the envelope. You've got Meghan's sage. No, thank you. And she goes on. And so begins our Montecito Thanksgiving love story. When dreaming up the holiday collection months ago, Meghan imagined what it would taste like to have a sage honey drizzled on her Thanksgiving turkey. And ta-da! Here we are, a stunning sage honey, aromatic and earthy, Epicurean in its depth of flavour and elegant simplicity, inspired by the treat she enjoys at her home with her family. Our sage honey is now available for your holiday table, and there is the hard sell. P. Diner, Prince Harry is now allowing his wife to use his children, to use personal stories of their time together to hawk overpriced honey. What do you make of it?
Well, I don't know that Harry is allowing it. I think Meghan is just doing what she wants to do, and Harry has no choice to go along with it. It, to me, looks like Meghan is just really desperate to try to keep this brand alive. It really is a dead brand. You would think if it were so wanted and popular that her celebrity friends would be endorsing her heavily. This is a product that only Meghan is able to talk about because nobody really wants to be associated with Meghan. And she just looks very desperate to me, bringing in the children. You don't really get to see the children, but they're there. She talks about them. And Harry is doing what he does, completely opposite of wanting to have his children a part of social media, let alone helping to sell products. Meghan just looks so cheap as someone who had such a close alignment with true royalty. It to me looks like a fall from grace. And it's really a pathetic situation, I think, that is also bringing Harry down. And I think more the reason why their titles will be stripped. She is not going to stop. It's going to continue.
Strip the titles. Seriously, strip the titles. It's like she's this desperate, P. Diner. And remember, up until a few months ago, the money was still rolling in from Netflix, right? Like the desperation is only going to grow because that financial tap from Hollywood has well and truly been turned off now. No new series in production anywhere.
From Thanksgiving honey emails to Power Hay speeches about love and childhood, the contrast is stark. Catherine demonstrates a type of royalty that inspires respect, trust, and emotional connection. Meghan demonstrates a type of celebrity-driven personal branding that may earn clicks, but not loyalty and certainly not admiration. The takeaway for anyone watching is simple. True influence comes from alignment of values, vision, and action. Everything else, emails, social media campaigns.
Yeah, and she's going to keep trying to make it appear as if she is doing something. Things are moving forward, but that is not the case. I mean, even the stories around the brand, the products even being sold in the Netflix store is not happening. Meghan is very desperate right now, and I don't know how she'll be able to make herself appear legitimate, because I think to a lot of people, even with all the controversy around her and the photos at the Kardashians, Meghan just seems to have so many mishaps and problems that are negative and not encouraging. It just doesn't look well for her, and her single alignment with this product really validates how alone and isolated she is with her brand. I mean, she doesn't have the support of really high profile people to really legitimize her
No,
products.
because the brand
You
is a
know?
disaster. And everyone
Yeah.
knows the brand is a disaster. It's embarrassing. I mean, if you're a big celebrity and you're posting was never on your Instagram, it's really, really bad. Like the fact that Oprah went there. Oh my God. And
Yeah. I
then,
mean,
yeah, just nuts. But then we
she's
can't.
going down too,
Yeah,
just
she
to say.
is.
I think a lot
She
of people
is.
are not aligning with Oprah as much.
No, no. Well, it was the beginning of the end, wasn't it? The interview,
Right.
because it's
Hmm.
like, not only did you lie, not only did you allow someone else to lie, you let that lie about the British royal family go around the globe. I'll never forgive her for it, honestly. And I would just say Oprah had enough big interviews in her career not to have to end her reputation in that way. But she was markled well and truly, wasn't she? But look, I
Yeah.
want to talk about the contrast, P. Dinah, because you say Meghan is so cheap. And she used to have this connection to true royalty. And there was true royalty yesterday. And this was a major moment for Catherine, the Princess of Wales. She was actually at this event alongside Gareth Southgate, who is the former England football coach in the United Kingdom. But what people are saying, P. Dinah, is that this speech, this address, which made it onto the front page of the Daily Telegraph, was, as Tom Sykes describes it, a tantalizing glimpse of Queen Catherine. And he said, the Princess of Wales' confident mien suggested to me that she knows exactly what moment she is stepping into. And very much the suggestion is that after everything being derailed for a couple of years because of her cancer treatment, King Charles's growing health crisis means actually now we're starting to see her mission statement, and we're starting to see the power being passed from one house of Windsor into the other. It's fascinating stuff. Before I get into a bit of the analysis, though, let's just watch how Catherine started her speech.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for being here today. I hope you'll find it interesting and insightful. I'm certainly looking forward to it. And we've got some fantastic speakers, so thank you to all of you for your time, support and commitment. I'd also like to take this opportunity to say thank you to Christian, who's led the centre and built many of the relationships here today. Thank you, Christian, for holding the fort, particularly over the last couple of years. So my passion and the work of the Centre for Early Childhood stems from one essential truth: that the love we feel in our earliest years fundamentally shapes who we become and how we thrive as adults. Love is the first and most essential bond, but it's also the invisible thread, woven with time, attention and tenderness, through consistent nurturing relationships, which creates the grounded and meaningful environments around a child. It is this texture, the weave of love, which forms a child's emotional world and becomes the foundation, the very fabric of resilience and belonging. The home should be the space where love, safety and rhythm enable a child to thrive. A loving home ultimately teaches us how to love and how to care. But every environment has the potential to shape our hearts.
So, P. Dinah, we're seeing there, I think, what a Queen Catherine is going to be all about. Catherine is selling love, the concept of love at home. Meghan is selling her children in order to make money. I just thought the contrast yesterday was so great.
Yeah, and how she really puts the focus on what a lot of people relate to. And I think that is the message that that resonates with Catherine. The things that she says really touches the homes and hearts of the people. With Meghan, you look at what she is doing and you can only feel sorry for how she's treating her children, how she's using them as pawns. And it just shows the contrast between what is important for the people and what the work of the monarchy is about, this things that Catherine is saying, and how with Meghan, you just look at the complete opposite. And even Harry is not aligned with what his wife is doing. And it just, to me, feels like once again, Meghan is about herself. It's not really about her children. It's about gaining this empire off of the backs of her children, while Catherine focuses on the love of the home and the children. And it brings value to a lot of people, what Catherine says. Meghan doesn't bring value, she brings disdain and disgust, really. Because you just look at someone who has fallen so far and you look at what she's doing, selling products. It just feels wrong to me. And you just have to look at Meghan and think how she is not really looking out for the welfare of her children. She really isn't. I don't know how this is going to end in terms of these children, but I can say with certainty that it doesn't seem to be coming off with a good start for someone who is in the public eye so heavily, that you are using your children this way. It just doesn't get any better when you see how she is using her children. To me, it's quite sad.
And Catherine is not just looking out for her own children at home. She wants all children, especially in the United Kingdom, to have love.
Celebrity endorsements can't substitute for substance. In the end, the story of these two duchesses is not just a tale of family drama or branding missteps. It's a broader lesson about public perception, responsibility, and what it means to lead, or at least to carry oneself with integrity, purpose, and vision. Catherine's speeches, her poise, and a focus on love and care for others are shaping her public narrative in a way that Meghan's desperate brand experiment simply cannot match. And as King Charles gradually steps back, and as William and Catherine continue to step forward, the contrast is only going to become more pronounced. So, for now, the story writes itself. Catherine's star is rising, rooted in substance and care, while Meghan's appears to be struggling, tangled in a web of marketing misfires, desperation, and public skepticism. And Harry? He's somewhere in the middle, trying to navigate between loyalty, protection of his family, and the pressures of public expectation, while watching as the gap between the two duchesses becomes ever clearer. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.